What's up everybody, it's Broken Bones here and welcome to Broken's Bedrock Tutorials. Today we're going to show you how to build a superior potion brewer from Minecraft 1.21. This potion brewer has all of the latest ingredients and all of the newest features. Right in front of the potion brewer there are two buttons. The one on the right is for single mode, that'll brew a single batch of potions, and the one on the left is for multi-mode. You'll brew a whole batch of potions until your barrel's completely full. In today's tutorial I'll be showing you how to build this potion brewer in two different styles. This design here we're going to refer to as the wide style. Or you can build the curve style, where your potion brewer curves around the room like this. Both styles come with all of the newest ingredients and features. And both styles work on Java Edition and Bedrock Edition. One of the most popular comments on all of my potion brewers have been the fact that most of you think that potions of weakness cannot be brewed with it. And I'm here to tell you that you're right and wrong all at the same time, because you can brew them with it. Now I don't know if this is true for Java Edition, but it certainly is for Bedrock Edition, that you can create a weakness potion with Nether Wart in it, because weakness potions don't need Nether Wart, they usually just take a Fermented Spider Eye. But this machine will go ahead and do it, and I'll show you right here on camera. So out of all my ingredients, I've only got the Fermented Spider Eye picked, and the Nether Wart is always on. So let's go over here. We'll go ahead and check inside of our barrel. Our barrel is now empty. Let's go ahead and hit the button. This is the single mode. This will go ahead and drop in the Nether Wart first thing, and then it'll drop in the Fermented Spider Eye afterwards and create a Potions of Weakness. And if for some reason you wanted a whole barrel full of those, then you could definitely do that too with fully automatic mode. Now, fully automatic mode will fill up your barrel, but it'll also leave you 3 potions inside of the hopper as well, because it actually waits for that hopper to fill up. So what you could do is you could actually go ahead and take this bottle right here, and that actually didn't give me the bottle, but if you took that bottle and you put it right inside this barrel here, that'll fill up one of the spots, making it to where when you have a full barrel's worth of potions, there'll be 1 left in the hopper. Now, when you brew a batch on the single mode, then you need to go into the potion brewer and you need to manually withdraw the potions just like this. They're not going to go into the barrel. However, when you start fully automatic mode, you will need to make sure that your potion brewer is empty just like this, with some Nether Wart sitting up on top just like that. Now, because earlier we took our glass bottle and we put it inside the barrel, we're going to get exactly 27 potions. If you wanted 30 and you don't mind having 3 extra potions beyond a barrel, then you could totally do that too. Then you don't need to put that bottle in there. This is just in case you want exactly like a shulker box worth of potions. And so if you were to do that, you can go ahead and hit the button here just like this, and whatever potion you selected is going to start brewing up just like this. And as you can see, the potion brewer has stopped brewing and the barrel is full of potions there. And as we can see, if we go ahead and turn off fully automatic mode, we can go ahead and hit the button there. That'll turn it off. And then if we come in here, we can go ahead and take out that glass bottle. It'll take out the very last potion. And inside the hopper, let's see if we can get inside the hopper there. There we go. As you can see, there's no more potions inside the hopper. And then of course, go ahead and put your glass bottle back, because up here is where all your glass bottles go. So as you can see, this thing's pretty easy to use, and out the back the redstone is not that big, and therefore it's really easy to build as well. The yellow gold blocks here represent all of the newest features that I've updated in the circuitry, and as I mentioned earlier, we have a curved version, and the yellow gold blocks over here represent all of the blocks that you won't need for the straight version, but that you will need for the curved version. The coolest part about this design is you can pretty much throw it anywhere inside your base. As you can see down below, I have chunk aligned my potion brewer. However, you don't really need to chunk line it. The only bit of it that I'm going to recommend that you chunk align is the bulk of the redstone right here. Out the back, we have a couple different circuits that are all working together, and so it's very important that you don't have a chunk border going through that. However, other than that, you can pretty much move that anywhere within inside your chunk. Everything else is pretty simple and laid out straightforward, and so therefore you can pretty much put this anywhere inside your base. Even if you don't have a ton of room, you can build the curved version, which makes it considerably smaller. And with that being said, if you guys are excited to get started with today's tutorial, then go ahead and smack the like button for me and subscribe if you guys are new, and let's get started with the tutorial, and material lists will be down in the description. To get things started, you are going to want to chunk line this part of your potion brewer. This is a 5 wide area by 6 blocks deep. It's just all the bulk of the redstone that makes everything work, and there's a lot going on right there, and so you want to make sure that that is inside of a chunk. And if you don't know how to do that, then I have a tutorial on how to chunk line all of your builds, and I'll leave that tutorial up in the top right hand corner. Then once you know where your chunks are, laying this out should be pretty easy. Now, if you have to prepare an area in your base for this where you have to dig out a certain area, from the floor block and then below, you're going to want to prepare prepare 5 blocks down. So that's the floor block plus 4 more down below, and that's how low you're going to need to go to fit all this redstone in there. And if you're building the straight version, it is going to be 30 blocks wide, and it's going to be 10 blocks tall, so that's 5 below the floor and 5 above the floor. And then from this block right here, we're going to be coming back 8 blocks to house in this redstone. So we have 10 blocks tall, 8 blocks deep, and 30 blocks wide. If you're building the curved version, then the area that you're going to want to chunk line is on this side of your potion brewer right here. It's going to be all of the brains right here inside this area, so make sure that you have your area laid out to where your potion brewer could be inside your base. Something like this, where this part of the redstone could be anywhere inside this chunk. And even though that the curved version here looks a little bit smaller on the inside, it's actually a little bit bigger on the outside. From side to side, this build is 31 blocks wide, making it 1 block wider than the straight version. However, it is the same blocks tall. It is 5 below the floor and 5 above the floor. But from front to back, all the way from the side block over here, where this block is, all the way reaching back behind the build is 13 blocks wide. So all in all, it is 10 blocks wide, 5 below the floor, 5 above the floor. It is 31 blocks wide all the way across, and it is 13 blocks deep. And as I said before, I'll be building both styles, the straight style and the curved style, and so I prepared 2 areas to build each one of them. On the left will be my straight style, and on the right will be my curved style, and I've laid out the areas in which will be the area that I need to chunk line. And so to give you guys a bit of context of where we're going to be starting, we're going to go ahead and start right here in the tutorial. However, you guys can go ahead and move this ring around if you want to, wherever you are in your base. You can move this ring around. I really don't want you moving this ring around any further outside the chunk than this. I don't really want the circuits that are going to be inside this gold ring area. The gold ring on the outside, there's actually nothing. All the redstone is inside this area, and I really don't want any of the redstone on the chunk border, because that's where chunk borders start to make redstone act kind of funny. So make sure that wherever you're chunk aligning it, that you have an area that is prepared just like this, where it's not any closer to the chunk border, regardless of which style you're building. Now, if you're building this straight style, then that area is going to be the area that we were talking about earlier. As you can see over here, you can see that this is going to be the area right here directly behind your potion brewer, right where you're going to be using your potion brewer. And so that is going to be prepared just like that. However, if you're using the curved version, then that's going to be cocked 90 degrees. Instead of being faced this way, it's going to be now faced that way. So in the curved version, this is actually turned at 90 degrees just like that, where it is 5 wide right here by 6 blocks deep. While over here on the straight version, it is 5 blocks wide on this side and 6 blocks deep, instead of being cocked 90 degrees like this. Now, if you're going to want to build the straight version, then to start things off from wherever you're going to put this inside of your chunk here, so you can pretty much move this around to wherever you want to, and wherever you're going to be starting, you're going to be coming off of the bottom left-hand corner. Now, this is going to be the front of your potion brewer, this side of it. This is going to be where your potion brewer is, and so we're going to come off 2 blocks here, and again, this is a 5 wide area by 6 blocks deep. The blocks that I have here are 7 blocks wide by 8 blocks deep, and that's because that way we have a 6 by 5 area in the middle. This is the area that needs to be chunk lined, and these are the blocks that I'm building that area out of. And so coming off of this ring right here, we're going to come off of this block right here by 3 blocks, 1, 2, and this one 3, just like that. We're going to come up by 5 blocks. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. And once we have that, then we're going to run this down to our right hand side by 30 blocks. When you've reached down 30 blocks, go ahead and come down on this side and go ahead and come back the other 30 blocks just like this. Then when you get to the end there, go ahead and come in by 1 block and go ahead and go all the way back, leaving 1 block at the end as well, just like this. This will be the beginning of your floor if you're building the straight version. Now, if you're building the curved version, it's going to start off the same way. We're going to come cocked 90 degrees though, because this is the way our potion brewer is facing. And we're going to come off that same block, this block right there. We're going to come out by 3 blocks. We're going to come up by 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. However, this time we're going to go right there just like that. We're going to come over by another block. This is going to be 2 blocks wide. We're going to go ahead and come over a block like that. We can leave this block in there. We're going to count 13 in total with this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 just like that. Once you have a 13th one on there, place a 14th and turn it 90 degrees just like this. And then we're going to count 5 including this one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, and 5, just like that. And then what we're going to do here is we're going to come across doubled up just like this, and then we're going to come across just like that, and we're going to step it in just like so. So go ahead and fill this in just like that. Do the same thing right here. You can leave that out there just like so. Go ahead and double this up as well. Go ahead and bring this all the way across here just like this. We're going to do the same thing over here, so go ahead and double that up, and then we're going to go just like this, like that, leaving a gap there just like so. Go ahead and bring this across here just like this, and then we can go ahead and do the same thing over here. We can bring this across and bring this all the way back to where we have this area just like that, and this can come across here like so. And once we have that all in place, then we should be able to go ahead and fill in this area as well, just like this. That should be 3 blocks wide, just like that. There we go. And this side over here, this side can actually go ahead and come all the way across here where we have a 1 block gap, just like that. And then this would be the beginning of your floor for your potion brewer if you're building the curved version. And from here on out, regardless of what version that you're going to be building, it's going to be pretty much the same as far as the redstone is concerned. Now, because these two are shaped differently, this is going to be for the straight version. We're going to be building the facade next. So if you're building the curved version, I've made chapters in the video. You can go down below and click to the next chapter, and I'll show you how to build the facade for the curved version. If you're building the straight version, though, we're going to start over here in the left-hand corner where we left this gap. We're going to go ahead and come up by a block just like that, and we're going to come up by 6 blocks. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just like that. Then we're going to come all the way across to the other side, all the way down until we get to the other side of the floor. Once we're there, we're going to do the same thing over here. Go ahead and put a block in there like that and bring that all the way up. Once you have this in place, we're going to start with the potion brewer on the left-hand side. We're going to go ahead and place a temporary block there and one in there just like that. That's going to be your copper bulb. That's going to be your T flip-flop for making automatic mode. And so what we're going to do is we're going to place ourselves in a button on that, and that's how you will toggle that. All you have to do is press that on. The light will turn on. That's automatic mode. And then when you press it, it'll turn off, and that's automatic mode turned off. Next, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a barrel on the side of that one, and then another block on the side of this one just like this with a button on its face. So now from there, what we're going to do is we're going to place in 12 more blocks. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. All of these blocks gets a lever on their face. So go ahead and place levers on all 12 blocks just like this. And then once you get down to the end, go ahead and come back over here. We're going to place in a block up just like that. Then we're going to place in 4 more blocks. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then come out a 5th block and go up just again. These 4 blocks here in the middle, these are all going to get levers just like that. We're going to count 4 more blocks again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Place a 5th block with one up just like so. You get the picture. We're going to go ahead and place levers on all 4 of those blocks. Then over here at the very end, we're going to go ahead and place a block there and one up there. And of course, this one doesn't really need a lever because it's going to be Nether Wart. That's always going to be in the potion. Now for the second layer of blocks, we're going to come over here to the lamp again, and you guys can wax this if you want to keep it good or if you want to let it oxidize. It's completely up to you. But we're going to place in another block there, skip a block and place one there. Right in here will be where your potion brewer will eventually be when we get to that point. But on top of all the levers, we're going to go ahead and place in redstone lamps. So go ahead and place those in all the way across. You should have 12 right there. Go ahead and put 4 more in right there above all those levers, 4 more again, and then 1 at the Nether Wart. Grab your item frames and go ahead and place them on here. And if you don't want to use item frames, then you can use signs or whatever else you like. Be sure to place one of those on every lamp, and then go ahead and come over here and place 2 here as well. And now this will be the beginning of your facade if you're building the straight version. Now if you're building the curved version, this is where you're going to be coming in now. What we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and come right over here to this part of your build, just on the left-hand side here. We're going to place in a block right there. We're going to come up by 6 blocks in total, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, just like that. Everywhere that there's an indent, just like this, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to come up by a total of 6 blocks just like that, so that should be even. Go ahead and connect these up just like so. Once you do that, go ahead and stretch this across the entire width of the floor where this gap is right here. Go ahead and do the same thing. Go ahead and come up by 6 blocks, so when that connects, go ahead and bring that all the way up there like so, and then bring this all the way across, and then bring this area up as well just like this, and you kind of get the picture. That's going to be the beginning of your facade. Then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to come right over here to the left, and we're going to start right here. We're going to place place in a copper bulb right here on the left-hand side there, just like that, with a button on its face. This is going to be your T flip-flop for your automatic mode. So if you turn it on just like that, the lamp will turn on, and if you turn it off like that, the lamp will turn off, and that'll be your automatic mode off. So now we're going to place in ourselves a barrel just like this, and then a block in right there on the side of that barrel just like so. And then over here on this side, we're going to go ahead and place on a block in here just like that, and then we're going to go ahead and count 12 blocks all the way down. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then what we're going to do is we're going to place levers on the faces of all these. So place 12 levers on all of these blocks here just like this. And then I think I actually forgot to place in a button right there on this block. Be sure to put a button right there. And then over here, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and come up by a block right here. Go ahead and place a block up just like that. And then place in 4 more blocks in here just like this. That'll go ahead and do. Then once we get to that point, go ahead and come across to this side, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Go ahead and bridge the gap there. Go ahead and count 4 blocks in total just like that. Then go ahead and come up by a block and place in 1 more just like that. And on all of these blocks, go ahead and be sure to place in levers on all of these, 4 there, 4 here, and 1 there. And actually, because this is going to be where the Nether Wart is, that's going to be in every potion. You don't need a lever. And now for the second layer of your facade, we're going to come right over here to the copper bulb. We're going to place in a block in right there and a block in right there. And then we're going to leave the middle open. This is going to be where your potion brewer is. And then over here, we're going to go ahead and grab our redstone lamps here. We're going to place redstone lamps on top of the blocks with all of our levers, which that's why we put these blocks up here, so we can just place those in rather quickly. So there's 4 more just like that. And then we can go ahead and place in these 4 right here and 1 in right there. Now be sure to take an item frame or a sign or something or rather to go ahead and label these. So be sure to put one on all of your lamps just like this. And then when you get down with all of your lamps, we're going to go ahead and put 2 more here on your potion brewer. So right here we're going to put 1, and right there we're going to put 1. So now if you're building the straight version or the curved version, your potion brewer should be looking something like this. Next, we're going to go ahead and build the redstone that goes behind your ingredient selection station. And if you're building the curved version, this is going to be directly behind all of your lamps. And regardless if you built the straight version or the curved version, from left to right, they all have a single lamp, then 4 lamps, and 4 more lamps, and then 12 lamps, just like that. The curved version over there, as you can see, has a single lamp, 4 lamps, 4 lamps, and then 12 lamps. Go ahead and follow along on the curved version as we build it on the straight version. So on the single lamp, the first thing to notice is that on this side, we never put a lever, and that's because it's always going to be on. And to make it sure that it's always going to be on, we're going to put the lever down here, turn it in the on position, and then therefore you can't really turn it off. Next, we're going to work on these 4 lamps, and so now we're going to go ahead and take some temporary blocks in here, and for these circuits we're going to be using white wool. This is going to be your ingredient selection circuits, and then down below we're going to place in 4 more blocks just like this. Grab your sticky pistons and go ahead and come up here just like this and place in sticky pistons going across just like so. Next, we're going to go ahead and break out all the temporary blocks, and then we're going to come down here just like this with some repeaters just like so. Next, go ahead and put blocks on top of all of their faces just like this, and then we're going to come out the front and turn all of the levers on just like this. That's going to raise up those blocks, and that's going to help us place in these droppers. Next, we're going to place in some droppers upwards just like this on the sides of all those blocks, and then once you have that done, go ahead and come down here and go ahead and, as I was saying before I fell down there, next we need to go ahead and place in some hoppers right into the side of all of these droppers. For the single lamp on this side, we can go ahead and throw in a temporary block and one out to the side just like this. We can break that one in between. Go ahead and place yourself in a dropper up just like this, and then place yourself in a hopper on the front side just like that. Then go ahead and do the exact same thing for all of the lamps, and then if you're building the straight version, you're going to leave this lamp undone. As you can see, I've got no redstone out the back because this one's going to be a little bit different. However, if you're building the curved version, then your potion brewer should start looking something like this. And as you can see on this side, we can go ahead and put all of the redstone all the way to the end. So now if you're building the straight version, this last one has to be a little bit different because all of the brain circuit is going to be behind the potion brewer in these 3 blocks right here, and it's going to be directly next to it. So it's got to be a little bit different than that one, because on that one, the curved version, the brain is on this side, and the potion selection ingredients station is on that side. So here it's going to be right next to each other. Next, what we need to do here is we need to go ahead and place ourselves in a temporary block there, one down there, just just like this. We're going to place in some redstone dust on that one, and this one's going to get a regular piston facing up just like that. We're going to place in a block in just like this, a block in just like that, and then another block of glass on top of these. These need to be transparent blocks. Then directly above this glass, we need to go ahead and place in 2 temporary blocks in just like that, and then go ahead and break those out. Then place in a downwards facing piston with a 1 block gap in between that glass. Once you have that built, then go ahead and come right here. We're going to place in a block right there and then a block up just like this. Go ahead and break that temporary block out. Come across over here with a repeater just like that. Then grab yourself a slab, and we're going to place a temporary slab there, and then one down beneath it just like that. We're going to take redstone dust and we're going to run it on top of both of these. If you're building the straight version and you finally have this built, now it's time for both of the versions. Both of these are going to be doing the same thing now. From here, the redstone should be exactly the same. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and come behind these pistons right here. These should be extended and even with your droppers. And you're going to come down here on the piston arm. You're going to place in a block just like that. And you're going to go ahead and bring that all the way down the length of your pistons just like so. Do that and skip a block on the rest of your pistons just as well. Go ahead and make sure that every piston has a block just like that, and then on this one we can go ahead and just bring a temporary block and fill in the gap. Once you've got that placed, go ahead and place in a block just like this, and then bring that across, all the way across just like so, and that should meet up evenly with that block. And if you're building the curved version, then it should look something like this, and you'll bring that all the way down to the end, unlike the straight version. Then across over here, there's a break right here. We actually need to fill in the gap. We're going to go ahead and place in some blocks right there, place in some blocks over there, and then just meet up where that meets up in the middle. Then behind all of the blocks that are right in front of your droppers, go ahead and grab a repeater and go ahead and put it into these blocks here just like so. Go ahead and do that for all of the droppers, and then when you get to the end here, we're going to go ahead and place in repeaters all the way across here just like so. Then when you reach the end, you're going to go ahead and take some redstone dust, and you're going to go ahead and lace all of these up just like so, just like that. Once you've got all of your redstone in place just like this, then go ahead and break this redstone right here in between the 12 lamps and the 4 lamps just like that. Then go ahead and place in a repeater right there to carry the signal all the way to the end. And if you're building the curved version, then you're definitely going to want to bring the redstone all the way across all of this white wool that we have all the way across there. And then of course, if you have a repeater, then you're going to want to put one here. And then you're going to come all the way to the beginning of this circuit, go ahead and break out that redstone and put another repeater right there. So now if you're building the curved version, your redstone should be looking a lot like this. And if you're building the straight version, your redstone should be looking just like this. And if you're building the straight version, down here at the end, go ahead and make sure to add your last dropper just like this, and then your hopper alongside of it, pointing into it just like that. That'll go ahead and fix that all up. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab our barrels now. We're going to place barrels in just like this, facing in that direction on the hoppers. And so we're going to go ahead and just like this above every single lamp, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a barrel facing forward just like this. If you put temporary blocks in between, then be sure to break those out. And if you're building the curved version, then your potion brewer should start to look like this. Once you have all this in place, then go ahead and grab your decorative blocks and go ahead and place it in between and bring it up to your barrels just like this, in between your barrels just like so. And if you're building the curved version, then that's going to be right in between here, just like this, right in between here, just like that. And then if you want to, you can come around here to the back and go ahead and seal up around your hoppers around this area, just like this, to kind of finalize that whole area in and make it look fully enclosed. And now once you have that complete, next we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves some trapdoors. Now you can use wooden trapdoors or iron trapdoors. And if you want to use iron trapdoors and you have friends that like to come along and flap all your trapdoors and be annoying, then I recommend using iron trapdoors because they can't be flapped, not without some effort being put in. But if you want to use wood trapdoors, then you can totally do this. You can just go right across all of your hoppers just like that and place them in just like so. And if you don't mind the look of the hopper, then you really don't need these at all. These are just for aesthetics. But you can either put in some trapdoors all the way across here, or if you're doing the straight version, then you can go ahead and come across here just like this. You're going to place in a piston on this hopper in right here just like that. We're going to go ahead and place in ourselves in a piston. Then above that piston, we're going to place in ourselves a temporary block with a button on it just like this. And then as you can see here, if we place ourselves in an iron trapdoor like that and press this button, it'll get flapped up and pushed, and now it'll be permanently in the upwards position. So all you have to do is press this button just like that, add more trapdoors, and they'll keep getting pushed down. Once you've done that across all of your hoppers, then you can go ahead and break your piston and your block. And then to get these bits done, you can come all the way down here to this block. You can break that one out and then place yourself on a button right there and then use that as your trapdoor placement and just go ahead and price it in there just like that and do that all the way across. To do this on the curve version, once you're done, you can go ahead and break out your piston and your block, but then we need to go ahead and do this side, and this, and that one over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and break out these blocks right here. We're going to break out that block up there as well. And then right here, we're going to place ourselves in a piston on the side of that hopper right there with a block right there and a button right there. Next, we can go ahead and place in ourselves a trapdoor just like this, press the button and flap it up and press it across these 4 blocks. And when you're done, it should look something like that. Now go ahead and break this, and what we can do is we can turn around this way and we can go ahead and place in it right here and do the exact same thing going in this direction. Just go ahead and place in your trapdoor, press the button, and push it on over. Once you're done with that, you can go ahead and break out your temporary block in the middle right there. Go ahead and break out your block here and your piston, and then go ahead and replace your decorative blocks here. We can go ahead and place it in there just like that, and then go ahead and place in these 2 blocks as well. And now your facade is complete pretty much right there. And if you built the straight version, then you can go ahead and knock out the blocks in between here on the pillars just like that, leaving just the hoppers only covered. Go ahead and break out your piston, break out your button, and replace your decorative blocks. Once your potion brewer is looking just like this for the curve version and the straight version, then go ahead and grab yourself some stairs and then go ahead and place it in here just like that in 90 degrees. Then go ahead and turn it around just like so, and then go ahead and place a bunch in here just like so. Bring those all the way down to the end here, just like that. And then once you get to the end here, go ahead and turn another 90 degrees and make it look like that. If you're building the curved version, then you can go ahead and do that across right here, just like so, and do that in between all of your pillars. You can carry that across here, just like so, across all of your sections. And then when you're done, it should look something like this. Now that the bulk of your build is actually done, the bulk of the redstone is yet to come. This is going to be for the potion brewer right here, and so if you're building the curved version, you'll be building in this area. To get things started here, we're going to go ahead and come up here on top of this barrel. Go ahead and crouch place yourself a hopper in the back of it just like that with a potion brewer on the front just like so. Then we're going to grab a hopper right here on the side here just like this. Place it in there just like so, so the nozzle is facing into the potion brewer. Then grab yourself a double chest and place it in there just like this. Then when you have that in, go ahead and grab yourself a dropper, place it in there just like this, and then come onto the back side right here and place yourself in a dispenser facing in that direction just like that. Then once you have that in place, next we're going to go ahead and come right across over here. We need to go to place yourselves in a block in right there just like this, and then up and over here just like so to close that in place. And then because this is a double chest, we're going to want it to open. We're going to come right around back here with a transparent block, and I'm going to choose a stair, and that way it looks nice from the front just like this. And if you built the curved version, your build should be looking like this, and except because of this side of your chest here does not have any blocks from over here, you can go ahead and place in yourself on a decorative block right there if you want to fill in the gap. Next, we're going to go ahead and wire up the single mode button. This is going to brew a single batch of potions, and so we need to go ahead and wire that up down below. What we're going to do is we're going to come right on down here below where that button is, which is just to the left-hand side of that barrel. So we're going to go ahead and place in a block down in here just like this, and we're going to use green wool for this circuit. This is going to be green because green means go. So we're going to come down by another block right here. We're going to come down by a third block right there, just like this, kind of coming down like so. We're going to count 4 blocks out in total, so we have 4 blocks right here. And then over here, we're going to go ahead and place a block up just like that. Over and around on this side, we're going to go ahead and place in a temporary block right here, and we're going to place a block down here just like this. We're going to come up by 2 just like that, and then place ourselves in a slab right there. Go ahead and cover all of these with redstone dust just like this, and we're going to leave this one blank with redstone dust. That's actually going to get powered in from the side later. We'll come back to that block later, and we're going to put redstone dust up and in there. So we're going to come back to this slab and back to that block later. But now moving forward, we need to grab ourselves a piston. We need to go ahead and place ourselves in a piston right here just like that. When we go ahead and do that, we need to go ahead and count 4 blocks up. 1, 2, 3, and 4 just like so. Go ahead and grab yourself a redstone block like that. That redstone block should be right next to this hopper. That's actually going to lock that hopper, and this will actually have blaze powder in it, which will fuel our potion brewer. And so this will actually unlock that, so it'll get more fuel. And then we need to place ourselves in a observer just like this. And then right off the red dot of that observer, we're going to go ahead and place in a block in here like this, a block up like that, and another one out here like so. Go ahead and place in one more just like this with a block up just like that. Go ahead and break this one out. Do the same thing right here. Come up by a block and break that one out. Then we're going to grab ourselves some repeaters here. We're going to go ahead and place in a repeater here on 4 ticks. We're going to place another one in here. That one's also going to be on 4 ticks. Place in some redstone dust right there, and then another repeater on 4 ticks. So we have a loop going in like this with a total of 12 ticks. Then we need to grab ourselves a piston and come on down here and place it facing down just like that. So now that you've got that in, let's go ahead and test out your system. And it should be looking something like that. And if you go like this, you should see that that redstone block goes up and then comes back down. And if you've built the curved version, then your redstone should be looking pretty much exactly the same, just turn 90 degrees like this. And so let's go ahead and test this one out. So as you can see, the redstone block is there. Let's press this button, the redstone block goes up and then comes back down. Once you've tested that part of your circuit and you know it's working, then go ahead and come right above your potion brewer right here. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a hopper. We're going to place it in there just like that. We're going to grab one more just like so. Then we're going to come on top of our droppers here and we're going to grab more hoppers. We're going to bring these all the way across here just like this, across all of your droppers to the very last one. And then once you're done with that, with the straight version, it should look something like this. Now, if you're building the curved version, you will need to go ahead and curve your hoppers around. So let's go ahead and do that over here. If we go ahead and go just like this, we should be able to go ahead and go 2 hoppers in just like so, just like that. There we go. Then let's go ahead and crouch place ourselves in hoppers all the way across. And then once you get in line with your droppers from there, then you're going to want to turn 90 degrees and make sure that all of your hoppers are running over your droppers. And you'll want to do the same for the other side. So when you get across all of these ingredients, bring your hoppers out until they're in line with your other droppers on this side, and then go ahead and extend your hoppers to the very last dropper. And when that's fully complete, if you built the curved version, it should be looking something like this. And then if you built the straight version or the curved version, it's always a good idea to go ahead and cover your hoppers. And that's if you're in Bedrock Edition. You don't have to cover your hoppers because it doesn't stop any lag. But if you're playing Java Edition, then you could definitely turn these blocks, these regular blocks, into composters or any other block that would reduce lag. That'd be perfectly fine. But in Bedrock Edition, I like to cover all of my hoppers just to prevent things from going in that don't need to be there. And then once you've got all of your hoppers covered, then we're going to be coming right alongside our green circuit, and that's going to be the same thing on the curved version. We're going to be right at the potion brewer right here on the side of the green circuit. So we're going to be right in front of the potion brewer right here, right next to the green circuit. Next, what we need to do is we need to come up here to this hopper that's right above our potion brewer. We're going to put a block in right there just like this. We're going to place in another block down here like so. We're going to place in a block there and a block there. We need to go and place ourselves in 2 comparators in here just like this. I believe we need to go ahead and place ourselves in a slab in right here and then a block in right there. And then once you have that in place, we can go ahead and take ourselves in some redstone dust in here just like this. We can come on down here like that with a piston just like so, and then we can place it ourselves in an observer with the red dot facing in this direction. On this side of that observer, we're going to place ourselves a block in there and then come down by a block in the front and then over by one just like so. Back up just like this. We're going to place in a temporary block there, place one there and there, and break that one out. Then what we can do is we can place ourselves in a redstone torch right here. You should see that that's directly underneath that hopper. That's going to lock that hopper, keeping all of the potions from draining out of it unnecessarily. So what we need to do is we need to go ahead and put ourselves in a repeater here just like this. We're going to put that on 4 ticks. We're going to place in a dot of redstone dust, and that's going to go into that redstone torch, which will unlock it for 4 ticks, which is just enough to release 1 item. And then what we need to do now is we need to go ahead and place ourselves in a repeater right here just like this with a redstone torch on the front of its face like that. And then once you have both of these in place, then go ahead and come on top of this block right behind this this hopper here. We're going to take ourselves a comparator in here just like that, and then take a block in the front of that comparator. What's going to happen is this observer here is going to power this for 4 ticks, with that being on 4 ticks. It's going to let 1 item go into the hopper, but there's going to be 3 potions in the brewer. Those 3 potions are going to continue to go through because this comparator is going to power this redstone, which will keep this redstone torch off until that hopper is empty. And this redstone torch down here, we'll actually be coming back to that later. Now, once your magenta circuit is looking like this is going to be your ingredient intake. This is what we need to do. We need to go into this item hopper here that's directly in front of this magenta block. If it's hard for you to get into, go ahead and remove the magenta block and get into that hopper. Then what we need to do is we need to grab ourselves 22 sticks or any other item that will not go into a potion brewer. We're going to place 3 of them in there and then the rest of the 19 right there. That's going to control only one item going into the potion brewer at a time. And be sure to replace your block, and then since that's going to detect when there's an item in there, basically it's going to go ahead and power this circuit. And so when the Nether Wart at the very end finally drops in, it knows that the potion is done brewing. It's going to go ahead and release this piston here, which will trigger this circuit, which will release all of the potions and then start a new batch if you have it on fully automatic mode. And of course, if you're building the curved version, then you're going to want to do the same thing. Make sure that hopper has all of those items in there, and it should be looking exactly the same. So once you have that complete, that is your ingredient input circuit all done and dusted. Next, it's time to do the water bottle fillers. So this is going to be your water bottle dispenser right here. And to put the water bottles in, we're going to come into the back of the potion brewer right here on the back side of it. And we're going to place ourselves in a hopper so the nozzle is facing right into the potion brewer right there, just like that. And you're going to notice that it should be locked by that Redstone block right there in that circuit. When that goes up, that'll go ahead and unlock the hopper and allow 3 water bottles to go in. So what we're going to do now is we need to go ahead and bring this hopper line underneath that dispenser right here, just like that. So that way when it spits out a bottle, it'll go ahead and fill up with water, which we're going to put water there in a second. And then it should go ahead and go right into the dropper, filling up the potion brewer. So what we need to do now is we need to actually take an output from this hopper and measure that. And that's going to be part of a different circuit. I was going to use blue wool because it's the water circuit, but this part of it actually belongs to the fully automatic mode. So we're going to place a yellow block right there. And then this comparator is going to go on top of it, and that's going to go ahead and read anytime a water bottle goes inside of that. And then what we need to do now is we need to go ahead and go just like this, crouch place yourself an observer up there just like this. Go ahead and do one more just like that. And then you can bring one across here just like so. And I believe if you have this hopper here, that is not needed. I don't know why I put that there. The hopper that is behind this magenta wool block, that is the last one that you need, and that should be the one going into the top of your potion brewer. You don't need any more hoppers beyond that. Then right here at the end of our observer, we need to go ahead and place ourselves in some redstone dust right there. That'll power both the dispenser and the dropper, sending the bottles forward. So now that we have that, we need to go ahead and place ourselves in a bit of glass here in the front. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go just like this and put that glass there. We need to go ahead and break out that observer and that bit of temporary glass, put ourselves in some water there, replace that observer here just like that, then put yourself in a button right here, and that'll go ahead and power that dispenser when we fill it with bottles. And over here on the curved version, you can see that we built the exact same thing. It should look identical to the straight version. And then once you have that complete, that is going to be your water bottle circuit all done and dusted. And next, as I said, we're going to be doing the fully automatic version out of yellow wool right here. We need to go ahead and place in another yellow wool block and then another yellow wool block on that the copper bulb there. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a comparator. We're going to throw it in there just like that, so it'll read whenever that comparator or whenever that copper bulb is lit up or turned off. If you go like this around the front, you should be able to turn it on, and you should see that your comparator turns on just like that. And if you turn it off, your comparator should turn off. Make sure that that's happening. Then once you have that done, then go ahead and come right over here just like that. You're going to place in a wool block right there, and you're going to go ahead and bring that all the way down here just like this. Go 1, then 2, and then 3, just like this. Like that, there we go. And then we should have 5 blocks in total, so we're going to come down one more time just like this, right there we are. Okay, so once we're there, now we can come onto this side. We're going to place ourselves in a redstone torch right there, and we're going to put redstone dust on top of all of these just like this. Once we get to that point, we're going to come back down here to this redstone torch here. We're going to place ourselves in a piston like that. It should raise up just like so, and as I said earlier in the tutorial, we're going to come back to this slab. Well, we're coming back to it right now, and as you can see, it's a slab, so it doesn't power this piston. Up here at this redstone torch right here, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in an observer just like like this, put it up there just like that with the red dot facing this direction, and then come over here to this redstone torch, and we're going to place ourselves in a sticky piston right in front of it just like that. But you want to make sure that you put this piston in first, make sure it's extended, and then make sure that that is retracted even though it's next to this redstone torch, because that piston is extended already. So what's going to happen is when we turn redstone, or when we turn fully automatic mode on, that piston is going to retract and this one's going to extend, and that observer is going to start the circuit. Once you've got that part of your redstone all done, then go ahead and come over here to this side. We're going to come to this block right here. We're going to place in it 3 blocks in it just like this. We're going to go ahead and break this one out and put one up here just like so, and we can break that one out as well. Down here, we're going to go ahead and place in 2 blocks. We're going to break that one out. Place in 2 more blocks. We're going to break this one out. Place in 2 more blocks, and we're going to break that one out just like that. You should see that with that, we have ourselves another 5 blocks here in a diagonal just like so. And then once you have that in place, grab yourself a repeater right here. And we're going to place it in there just like that, and that can stay on 1 tick. And then over here on this block right here, we're going to go ahead and place ourselves in a piston in here just like that, a sticky piston with an observer on its face. And when that extends, it should extend into this block, starting this circuit. Once you've got that in place, then next we need to go ahead and come on up here. We're going to extend this redstone down into this block right here. So coming from there to down there and then up to up here. Then we're going to come around this area right here, and we're going to put our redstone torch on here, and you should see that it extends that piston with that observer. So once we have that in place, next we're going to go ahead and come on up here. We need to take ourselves in a block right there next to this magenta wool right here, and then take ourselves a repeater out of it just like so. Then that's going to go into a block just like this, and then we can break that one out. Come onto the back side and place ourselves in a redstone torch, and then grab yourself a sticky piston, and you should see that when you place a sticky piston facing down right there, you can put a wool block right there, and it should cut off that redstone. And then once you've got that done, your circuit should be looking something like this. This is going to be your fully automatic mode circuit. And as you can see, if you've built the curved version, then the redstone should look exactly the same. And then once you've built that circuit, then that is your redstone pretty much fully all done and dusted. Now we need to go ahead and load up the farm with all of its items. What we're going to do now is we're going to come right around front here, and we're going to come to this item frame. We're going to go and put ourselves a water bottle, or just a regular bottle in front of it. You could put a water bottle there if you want to, because it's going to be your water bottle filling station. And so go ahead and come over here to this dispenser. Go ahead and put 9 water or bottles in there just like that, some glass bottles. And over here in the dropper, do the exact same thing. Trust me, this is going to be plenty of bottles to go ahead and make plenty of potions. So what we're going to do now is we should be able to go ahead and hit this button here, and you should see that it's going to go ahead and tick just like that. You should see your comparator go off a couple times, and you should see that we end up with a couple water bottles in here. And then if we look over here in this hopper, that hopper should be completely full. Once you've got your water bottles in place, then go ahead and come back around the front, and next we're going to come right below this chest right here. We're going to place ourselves in some blaze powder right there. Come up to this chest and go ahead and place it all in there just like that. Once you have that in there, you'll notice that if you look in your potion brewer, there's still nothing in it. Once you start the system, it'll go ahead and get water bottles and have the blaze powder put into the system. And if you're building the curved version, then go ahead and do the exact same thing for your bottles and your blaze powder over here. And next, it's time to go ahead and fill all of your ingredients. Now I'm going to be filling them on the straight version, but basically we're going to be going left to right. And so if you're on the curved version, then we're still going to be going left to right starting here and wrapping our way around. And I suppose right now would be a good time to go ahead and turn off all of your levers. Go ahead and turn these all off, because you're definitely not going to want all of your ingredients in the on position. And then once you've turned off your last lamp there, you should see that your Nether Wart is still on. That's perfectly fine. And all of these are now turned off. And for that matter, we should be able to go ahead and come on down here and get rid of all of these temporary blocks. I can't believe I didn't do that earlier. So once you get rid of all of those, then we can go ahead and load up all our ingredients. The first ingredient that we're going to start off with on the left-hand side is going to be a golden carrot. Go ahead and put a golden carrot in there, then load up your ingredients. Next ingredient is going to be a rabbit's foot, and then a magma cream, sugar, then your puffer fish, and your glistening melon, your spider's eye, your ghast tear, and blaze powder. And be sure to fill up all these ingredients in these barrels. And now that we got those 9 ingredients, the next 9 ingredients are going to be a phantom membrane right here. We're going to do a turtle shell just like that. We're going to go ahead and do a fermented spider eye, a slime block, a stone block, a cobweb, and a breeze rod. Then over here in our modifiers, we're going to start out with Redstone Dust and then Glowstone Dust, and be sure to go right on up here and load up all of your ingredients. And then once you fill up all those ingredients, go ahead and grab your gunpowder and then your dragon's breath over here and load these up in here just like so. And then the very last one is going to be Nether Wart. Go ahead and put Nether Wart in here and load that up in here as well, just like that. And then once you get all of your ingredients in place, your potion brewer should be looking something like this. And if you built the curved version, then your potion brewer is going to be looking just like this. It should be looking pretty good at this point in time with all of your item frames or signs or whatever you decided to use all filled up, and all of your ingredients are now in the system. And as I was making that clip, I just noticed that these temporary blocks are still here in the curved version. So if you haven't done that, then be sure to remove those as well. And then once you remove those temporary blocks, it should all be looking like this. And this is your potion brewer fully done and dusted. This is a fully complete machine. And if you built the straight version, it should be looking very much the same way. All of your ingredients should be in and all the redstone should be done. There's one little thing that we have to do before we fully test it, and that is to go ahead and go into our potion brewer and put one piece of Nether Wart in there. And if you're building the curved version, then be sure to do the same thing. Make sure you have a piece of Nether Wart in your brewing stand. Once you've primed up your potion brewer with Nether Wart, then it's time to go ahead and test your system. So one of the things I like to use is night vision potions. So let's go ahead and make one of those. Let's go ahead and turn the golden carrot on. We'll go ahead and increase the duration, so we're going to make it extra long. And then of course we have our Nether Wart in place there. So let's go ahead and test that potion out. If we go ahead and hit single mode right here, we should be able to go just like that. Our water bottles have come into the system. Our Nether Wart is now going in and making a mundane potion, and all the other ingredients will come in shortly. As you can see now, we have a potion of night vision that lasts 8 minutes, and we can go ahead and take it out manually. If you're going to be using single batch mode, then you're definitely going to have to take that out manually. It does not go into the barrel. However, if you want to use fully automatic mode, we could do the exact same thing. And this time, let's go ahead and make a fire resistance potion, because that's something that I use quite commonly in the nether. I definitely like fire pot potions. And so let's go ahead and do a full shulker box of those. And again, if I wanted to go ahead and just have a full shulker box, I could go ahead and take this glass bottle if I wanted to, and I think because I'm in creative mode, I lost it there. But if you put one item in there, then it'll go ahead and stop when you have an exact amount of 27 potions being made. So let's go ahead and hit this button and watch it run. Now, as you can see after that time lapse, that our potion brewer brewed up several potions and it stopped all by itself. There's no more potions or water bottles in the system. If we come on out here, we can see that our barrel is completely full, and because we put this one item in here, if we turn fully automatic mode off, just like that, we should be able to go ahead and come in here, empty out our glass bottle, and the last potion will come in there, and we won't have any lingering around in the hopper. Now, if you didn't have that glass bottle in there like we had, then you'll just end up with 3 extra potions in the back there. And if you want exactly a shulker box, well, then you're gonna have 3 extra potions, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that I was thinking of, that if you just put something in there, it would get rid of that problem. And so when you're done with that, go ahead and replace your bottle there. And if you want to go ahead and test all of your ingredients, you're more than welcome to. And remember, the number 1 potion that I got asked about in my previous potion brewers was saying that the fact that you couldn't make potions of weakness. And you totally can. All you have to do is turn on your Fermented Spider Eye, turn off all the other ingredients. We can leave redstone on, that's just to increase the duration of it. But nonetheless, we can go ahead and come over here. If we use single mode, we can watch it go ahead and make a potion of weakness here. And there you go, you have yourself potions of weakness if you guys want to be converting zombie villagers. If you've built the curved version, there's one last thing you need to do before you test your potion brewer. We need to come right around back here and we need to connect up the redstone to the ingredient selection station. So we need to go ahead and come right off this redstone right here. We're going to bring this all the way out. We're going to come right in front of this repeater right here. This should have the observer and the redstone block right here. We're going to place in a wool block right there just like that. We're going to come down by 1 just like so. And we're going to bring this out to where it meets up with this line right here. Then once you have that in place, you can go ahead and put redstone dust all along here just like that. Put redstone dust all the way up into there. Grab yourself a repeater and put it in here right here at the end just like that. And then once you have that built, if you haven't done so already, then go ahead and come on over here to your dispenser and make sure that you press this button. Make sure that every slot is full, just as a side note, even if you're building the straight version. If this has any spaces in it like that, it will break. The water bottle will go in that empty slot, and then it won't go into the system. So make sure that every slot is full, just like this, and then once you hit the button, you should see that it cycles through and that comparator turns on and off until you have a couple water bottles in here. So now if you're building the curved version, let's go ahead and test out your potion brewer. Now let's go ahead and do one of the new potions. Let's turn off potions of weakness and let's do an oozing potion. That's something that I know a lot of you have been excited about. So let's go ahead and brew up an oozing potion. So let's go ahead and test this out. We're going to go ahead and press the single batch mode button, and then in here we can see that our water bottles have come in, our Nether Wart is brewing up, and the other ingredients are about to follow. Well, as you can see there, I've actually jammed the system and I put Redstone Dust in there because I thought you could add Redstone Dust to potions of oozing. But if that happens, then you can just simply take the Redstone Dust out. Your potion brewer will sit just like that. You can go ahead and come right over here and go ahead and just correct that. Go ahead and put it right back where it belongs, and there's no harm, no foul. And then now if you go back to your potion brewer, you should see that you should be able to go ahead and take out your potions just like that. And now you got potions of oozing. Now, this isn't a tutorial on how to make potions. This is more of a tutorial on how to make the potion brewer. I'm not actually sure what happens if you drink a potion of oozing. I know it's supposed to be a splash potion now that I think about it. So nonetheless, you can play around with it, learn how to make all your different potions, and experiment as you please. And if you happen to mess up, it's not a big deal. Just make sure that your fully automatic mode is off, pull out all the potions, and pull out whatever ingredients are mistaken, and then you can put them back in the system, and the potion brewer will pretty much fix itself. And now to test your fully automatic mode, I think for this one we'll go ahead and turn this guy off here just like that, and let's do an underwater breathing potion. I think I like that because that's actually something that I'd like to use underwater. It's very convenient, so you don't have to come up for air. And again, if you're using full automatic mode, if you don't put a bottle in there just like this and take it out of your item frame, then it will just go ahead and add 3 extra potions in the hopper. It's not a big deal. So let's go ahead and turn on fully automatic mode and make sure that this is all working. Well, as you can see, our potion brewer has stopped. There's no more bottles in the system, and there's no more potions brewing. And if we look down here, we have a full box down here of potions, and if we turn off fully automatic mode just like that, we should be able to go ahead and pull our glass bottle back out, and the last potion will come out of that hopper, and you can put your glass bottle back there. So now with that, we've tested the curved version, we've fully tested the straight version, everything has been fully covered in the tutorial, and I'm super proud of how this turned out. And if for any reason you guys struggle while you guys are building this and you guys have an issue where it's not working properly, then go ahead and go down in the description, click on my Discord link for my fan chat, and be sure to drop me a line and we can go ahead and get this thing working for you. There on Discord, you can share photos and videos with me, and it'll be a lot easier to help you out. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you did, be sure to smack that like button for me, subscribe if you guys are new, ring that notification bell, and share this video with all your friends. I'm Broken Bones, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next tutorial. Take it easy, everybody.